Welcome back, everyone. It's Eric from Rare Candy here. Today we are back continuing our Sword and Shield coverage, and as you guys can see, PTCGO finally got Sword and Shield up on the online game. Really excited about that. And so today we are back taking a look at Galarian Obstagoon. This is definitely one of the more hyped like non-Pokemon V in the set. Definitely one that I think a lot of people were wanting us to show off on the channel, so here we are. Definitely want to get around to checking this thing out. And if you guys actually need any cards for this deck on the online game, you guys can head over to ptcgostore.com. Use that coupon code RARECANDY, all caps, one word. Patrons also get a bonus discount over there as well. So I'll have a link down below in the description if you guys do want to get some codes to play this deck on PTCGO. But going ahead and taking a look at the actual deck itself, Galarian Obstagoon. This is going to be the star of the show here. It's a new Stage 2 Pokemon. 160 HP. Has this ability kind of like the old Crobat from Phantom Forces. Whenever you evolve into it, you place 3 damage counters on one of your opponent's Pokemon. Pretty nice. Also has this attack Obstruct for a Darkened Colors does 90, and during your opponent's next turn, prevent all damage done to this Pokemon by attacks from basic Pokemon. So, really not the heaviest hitting Pokemon that we have, but you have to think, every time we evolve into this, we can place additional damage counters. The Galarian Zigzagoon as well is pretty nice because whenever we bench it, we get to put 1 damage counter on one of our opponent's Pokemon. So between this whole evolution line, we can actually kind of like make up some of the difference in damage just by evolving and naturally playing Pokemon down. And so basically we're just trying to wall against most of the stuff in the format. You have to think most of the prominent attackers are going to be basic. So think of like Reshizard, Mewtwo Mew, even the new Zacian V, Arceus Palkia GX. No shortage of very strong basic Pokemon attackers. Now granted, VMAX Pokemon and maybe like some random one prize like evolution decks might give us some trouble. But generally speaking, Galarian Obstagoon is actually going to be a pretty good wall against most of the different attackers that are really popular right now in the game. So we have a couple of other supporting Pokemon. We have one copy of Sableye V. This is another new card from Sword and Shield. And we're playing it mainly for the second attack. 2 Dark Energy is 10 plus 60 more for each damage counter on your opponent's active Pokemon. So guys, of course you can naturally see the synergy here. Obstagoon, Zigzagoon, going to get damage counters down. And the Sableye V can come in and, take a huge one-hit knockout potentially for us. So Sableye is actually really nice against like, maybe if we're going against a Snorlax VMAX or some of these new Evolution VMAXs, Sableye can actually be really nice at clearing those off the board and allowing us to get back to just walling with Obstagoon for the rest of the game. We also have one copy of Yveltal GX, definitely another card you probably haven't seen too much of up until now, but we're basically just playing this for the GX attack, Doom Count GX for a Dark Energy. If your opponent's active has exactly 4 damage counters on them, that Pokemon is now knocked out. So this is another way we can easily kind of eliminate like a major threat from the board. Again, if we're going against something like a Snorlax VMAX or a Lapras VMAX and our Obstagoon can't wall against this Pokemon, well guess what? We can just slap down Yveltal GX and just take an instant one-hit knockout. Especially on VMAXs in particular, this can be really nice. It's basically just 1 Dark Energy, get 3 prizes, effectively, because our Obstagoons can get down 3 damage counters, Zigzagoon can get down the single damage counter, so it's actually really not hard to fulfill this GX attack here. Next we have Tyrogue. This is actually an interesting card I actually had not had in my initial list, but Zach and Kenneth from the channel, they were both playing this, and I thought this was super saucy. And so I felt like, you know what, let's show it off on the channel. Let's see how this thing does. Tyrogue, it's one of the baby Pokemon, and it has this ability, end your turn on a coin flip, but if you do flip heads, you put 3 damage counters on one of your opponent's Pokemon. I actually really like this too because we don't really put pressure on very early with this deck. We're not really attacking till like turn 2 at the very earliest, so Tyrogue sometimes is a nice way we can kind of end our turn and potentially get some more damage on the board as well. See, we have a couple Jirachis just for that Stellar Wish ability. We have one copy of Mew. Mew's really going to be important too because if we are walling with Obstagoon, we need a way to prevent our opponent from sniping the bench and playing around our wall effect. So take something like Pikachu Zekrom GX, they have that Tag Bolt GX attack. Bench barrier, of course, is going to prevent them from sniping our bench and getting prizes that way. Also, of course, prevents things like Venom Shot on Naganadel GX. So, makes sense here. Then we also have one copy of Mimikyu as well for the Shadow Box ability. Pokemon GX that have any damage counters on them have no abilities, so this is really nice, especially against something like a Mewtwo Mew as an example. We can easily get damage counters on them just by benching a single Zigzagoon and getting Mimikyu down, shut off that ability. This is actually pretty important too for Mewtwo Mew specifically, because they do typically have ways at getting around your Obstagoon with things like Espeon Deoxys GX, just as an example, that spreads damage counters, doesn't do damage, so that's one way they can get around Obstagoon. Mimikyu going to be very good for against those types of decks with abilities. So going on, a couple of other interesting cards in here, we have 3 copies of Lily's Pokédoll. So like I said early on, we are really not putting on too much pressure, so it's kind of nice to be able to hide behind these Pokédolls in the beginning of the game. Also, sometimes it's really not even a bad idea just to have one on board, just because some decks play Fion, and if you're playing against a deck that plays Fion, you need something that you can throw up active that also doesn't give up a prize. So it's another way we can just help kind of deny prizes. Let's see, we of course have Quick Balls, Evolution Incense, Pokemon Communication, 1 copy of Chaotic Swell. We really don't have like a specific stadium we want in this deck. I guess you could play Black Market, but Black Market seems kind of bad in such a stadium heavy format. So we're just playing the Swell just to kind of keep our opponent's stadiums out of play. We have 2 copies of Rosa. This is a card I really like in the deck. So if one of our Pokemon's knocked out on our opponent's last turn, we can get a Pokemon, Trainer, and Basic Energy, put them into our hand so we can grab like Rare Candy Obstagoon, Dark Energy, or maybe if we have the Rare Candy, we can grab something like a Counter Gain. This is a card I think is really cool in the deck as well. So if we have more prize cards remaining to our opponent, the attack cost of our Pokemon it's attached to 1 colorless less. Really nice because Obstagoon does have the dark colorless attack cost. It's a way we can kind of get around that and maybe get one of these powered up out of nowhere. Also have 4 copies of Marnie. Do want to highlight this as well. You could play something like Professor's Research in here, or maybe Lily if you really want to, but I really like Marnie. We're basically just trying to deny our opponent from taking knockouts on our Obstagoons, and Marnie's just a nice way at like resetting their hand and keeping their options kind of limited. So yeah guys, that's going to be the list we are going to be trying out. Definitely a really cool deck. Let's head into some games and we'll show off how Obstagoon is going to look in action, okay? Alright, so we'll call the coin flip here. Let's see. Do lose the flip. Okay, so let's see what our opponent is going to want to do. Okay, our opponent is going to opt to go first. I don't mind that. Okay, this hand's actually like not too bad considering we don't have a supporter or a Jirachi. We can actually live off this hand. We have the Tyrogue, which is nice, which has free retreat. The Pokédoll we can always promote at some point if we need to as well. So it looks like we're going against like the Mewtwo Mew like hand control sort of deck. That's what it looks like. If they're playing the big charm plus Malamar and all that, I think that's a safe assumption. So let's see how this is going to go. I think getting down the Shadow Box Mimikyu is definitely going to be big for us. And they are starting Gengar Mimikyu. I really don't mind that. This is actually weak to Dark, which could be good for us. This could be a potentially easy prize for us at some point with a great catcher play. So if we hit for weakness, that's 180. So that plus 2 pings from Obstagoon actually would knock this out. So it's actually really not unreasonable to see. So we'll see an Inkay come down. Okay, so we're going to pitch away Naganadel GX. This actually could be... Ooh, they play Ultra Necrozma as well. That actually could be bad because that would get around our Obstagoon. So you definitely have some cute tricks at playing around what we got going on. Now, unfortunately, I think we are going to have to just go for a Jirachi. I really wish we would have hit a supporter. We do have our Mimikyu. We do have our Mew. Let's see. I think we prized our Yveltal GX, but we do have Sableye. We have our great catcher in deck. We prized a Cynthia, but other than that, we have kind of decent odds of hitting a supporter here. So we'll retreat. And Stellar Wish. Yes, and we do hit Cynthia, so that's definitely good. So I'm going to hold off on attaching the escape board just because we already retreated, so I don't want to put that down, be stuck here, not hit switch, and then get knocked out by Gengar Mimikyu, so we're just going to hang on to the escape board. And we do hit the switch. That is definitely good. So yeah, we'll just do this. Kind of want to preserve our Jirachi. And unfortunately, no Zigzagoon, no Quick Ball, no Energy, so we're just going to have to go for the Bratty Kick. And we Flip Tail, so like not the worst turn one ever, but definitely not my favorite that I've had with this deck either. So our opponent looks like they're starting to get a little bit set up now. So we'll have to see what route they're going to go. Are they going to try to horror house us this turn? Or are they just going to try to go for the Poltergeist and just knock us out? So here we do see the Mewtwo Mew coming down. I'm sure our opponent's going to want to like prioritize attacking with that instead of this Gengar Mimikyu, just because it's not weak to dark. So Professor's Research, did they get rid of anything in particular? They did get rid of the Blacephalon. That's actually kind of good. I really don't want to see that. Because, again, damage counters are not damage. That would allow them to play around this. So, I'm actually not sure if they didn't realize that, but Blacephalon actually could have been a pretty good attacker in this matchup, I think. So, we're going to see the big charm coming down on Mewtwo Mew. And are we going to see the Horror House GX? I actually would be stoked if they went that route. Because I basically just don't want them to play something like an Espeon Deoxys and be able to like spread a bunch. That's the thing I'm kind of worried about. Or have they used Psychic Recharge yet? No, they have not, I don't think. I was going to say if they have like Air Balloon and a way to get another attachment down, they could be good to go. But here they're just going to commit the extra energy to Gengar Mimikyu. Now, are they going to attack or are they going to go for the Horror House? Okay, so they're going to go for the Poltergeist. I'm still okay with that. They don't get a prize in the process. But here we will just promote Jirachi. And I think I kind of want to save our Marnies for later on. They already have a 4-card hand. Not too worried about that. Okay, and we do finally find ourselves a way to get a Zigzagoon. That's good. So we can start a Wish. And we get Skateboard. That's also very good as well. So we'll communicate our Obstagoon away. Finally starting to get a little bit set up over here. So we'll get this down on Mewtwo Mew. Get our attachment, and we can retreat into our Pokédoll, and then just use Tyro here. Ah, jeez, another Tails. That's what happens when you play coin flip cards, guys. So our opponent's playing Viridian, okay. Which I don't really mind, too. We don't play too many energy in our deck, so that actually could potentially help us at some point. Now, I actually do kind of want to get Chaotic Swell down just because they are going to be reliant on things like Viridian to pitch away attackers and things like that. So here they are going to go for the Mewtwo Mew and go for a Night Watch, okay? So they're going to put back Rosa and a Dark Energy, and we do get to keep the Marnie, which is really nice, but we'll just promote the Jirachi here. And let's see. Yeah, I guess we'll just attach to Zigzagoon and go for the Marnie. Oh, and we actually do get the rare candy. Ooh, and we can actually go for the Quick Ball and get ourselves a Mimikyu, which would be sick. And, okay, so we'll just go for the Quick Ball. I don't know if they have a way to actually get through the... Mimikyu. So we will go for the rare candy. Doing that. And I think I actually might start putting damage on the Gengar Mimikyu to potentially Great Catcher that up for like some easy prizes at some point. So I think we'll do that. And we will just go for Quick Ball here. I think we'll discard Quick Ball. Kind of want to save Rosa. And we'll just go for the Mimikyu. So normally I would like to have down an additional Zigzagoon, but I feel like it's just too good getting down the Mimikyu in this situation here. So we'll just retreat into the Obstagoon and go for the Obstruct. And now things feel a little bit better. So let's see what our opponent has in discard. Yeah, they don't have anything that can get around us. Now, the GX attack here, Pale Moon GX, can get around what we have. But we have switched, so we can actually clear the effect. So that's the only thing that would really be an annoyance for us. So we'll have to see what they're going to try to do here in response. Now, they could start attacking with Malamar, and I'm actually all for that. In this case, Malamar isn't really putting on too much pressure on us. We can one-shot it. So I think as long as we can just kind of stabilize and start to set up a bigger army of our Obstagoons, we're going to be kind of in a decent spot here. Like, I really want to get down another Zigzagoon with 1 energy, ideally. And here opponent's going to go for Marnie. I'm all for that. The switch is the only thing I think I would have liked to have had in hand. Because I think we've already played 1. Yeah, that's our only other one at this point. So, yeah, the Campbell GX would be pretty annoying for us. Oh wait, what am I even talking about, guys? Mimikyu shuts off Mewtwo Mew. Brain fart there. But I mean, they could set up another Mewtwo Mew. It's not out of the realm of possibility here. But they don't have any energy in discard, so I think we're actually probably safe for a turn, I would imagine. So they're going to get rid of a Viridian Force. Interesting. Kind of would have liked to have seen them like Viridian the Viridian away, and then Quick Ball away the energy. So here they're going to go for Giratina. Really don't mind Giratina too much. It really can't do much to us. The only stuff I'm really worried about is going to be evolutions and Pokemon that can spread damage counters, because Obstagoon, it only prevents damage, doesn't prevent effects of attacks. Damage counters are an effect, so that's something we will have to be kind of mindful of in this matchup. Another question is, do they play Stealthy Hood? That would also be problematic for us. Of course, they can't get rid of this big charm that's on the Mewtwo Mew, but if they get down another Mewtwo Mew with a Stealthy Hood, that could be a lot more problematic for us. We also can't put damage counters with our ability on a Mewtwo Mew with Stealthy Hood, so we'll have to see. But here it looks like our opponent is prioritizing going for the Malamar. Totally fine with that. It's an easy prize for us. Malamar has to, what, 3-shot us? Because the Psychic Sphere, it's for 60. Yeah, so guys, I feel really good about the position we're in here. Okay, and we get the Chaotic Swell down, so yeah, overall, really good turn for the deck so far. Do we play Great Catcher? Now, I kind of want to save Great Catcher for whenever we're going for a knockout. Just in case of a Malolana or something like that. So, I guess we can... Like, it's one of those hands I really just don't want to get rid of anything. Everything's pretty good here. Yeah, I think I'm actually just going to sit on this hand again. We don't have an energy to get down. I think if we had the energy attachment, I would probably actually commit to the Quick Ball. But since that isn't the case, we're just going to go for the Obstruct here. So we still have to do 110 to this Mewtwo Mew. The Big Charm gives it plus 30 HP. So what, 2 Zigzagoons and an attack will do the trick if we do want to go that route. So let's see what our opponent can do. I mean, I feel like they're in kind of a bad spot, guys. We'll have to see. Like, do they have an answer? Like, do they have an Espeon Deoxys? That's really the only thing I could think of that would really let them kind of come back here a little bit. Here they're going to go for the Psychic Sphere, or not Psychic Sphere, the Psychic Recharge. So do they have a switch? Okay, yeah, they must have, yeah. But again, I mean, we're hitting for 90, so I really don't mind this whole scenario too much. But here they're going to go for the Marnie. Kind of like their hand. It's okay. Hopefully we can draw into a Zigzagoon and energy. That would be good. Oh my god. That hand is so bad. Okay. So another thing we might have to be mindful of is a custom catcher play. That could potentially allow them to get around Obstruct here. So here we're just going to see a Psychic Recharge, but again, I mean, we're going to take a prize this turn. No questions asked. Here it looks like they're just gearing up to keep attacking with the Malamars. Totally cool with that. I think we're going to win that exchange. And we do get a Zigzagoons. That's good. So we'll go ahead and get a damage counter down. I think we'll get it on the Mewtwo Mew. That seems good. And from there, I think we're just going to go for the Obstruct yet again. Taking out the Malamar, getting ourselves a prize in the process. And we get a Cynthia. Very good, because our hand is so bad. We really need another manual attachment. That's something we have kind of been missing these last couple turns here. So we're going to see the Gengar Mimikyu come up, but I'm sure our opponent's just promoting because it has the air balloon attached to it. And it looks like they're winding up to attack with another Malamar potentially. Really putting us on like a one-turn clock to find an energy. I guess not even really, because they're really not actually going to even have an attack for the next turn. So, yeah, so we should still be in a good spot. Even if they have something like a... Well, actually, if they have Spell Tag, that would be bad for us. Okay, here they do have Indeedee. Indeedee V is definitely pretty annoying. You know, we are very reliant on placing damage counters. Indeedee V will allow them to kill 20 from their active. And they're actually just going to go for Whorehouse GX. Totally cool with that. I do not mind that whatsoever. So here we're just going to go for the Obstruct. So now since they burn their GX attack, even if they play Espeon Deoxys, they can't even use the GX attack there. So maybe their hand was dead and they had to go for the Whorehouse. I'm really not sure, but maybe they just want an extra turn to kind of stabilize a little bit more. Really not sure. So, I mean, they can retreat into Malamar, hit for 60. Next turn, though, we can just knock them out. So, yeah, I'm just really not seeing what our opponent's win condition is, unless they have some saucy like text in their list that they haven't revealed so far. It's hard to say. Now, I was going to say Garchomp Giratina could be bad because they could use the GX attack, but they've already burned their GX attacks. That's not even an option for them at this point. And here they are going to promote the Malamar. I'm fine with that. It's another easy prize for us. And they are going to hit us with the Marnie. Okay. The only thing I don't like about that is we lose our energy. That's like the one thing I really want to get down. And we lost our supporters too, which is kind of a pain. Okay, but we do have Dark Energy. We have Evolution Incense, so I still kind of like this hand that we have. And they're gearing up to attack with Indeedee, but I honestly don't think they can hit us. Yeah, it doesn't go through any effects, so we'll have to see. So here I'm going to go for Evolution Incense. We do have a Linoon in deck. So we'll do this. And we will go for the Obstruct here yet again. And now our opponent's Energy Acceleration is gone. I'm really not sure what they have at this point. So here they're just throwing up the Giratina. That might be telling me they don't really have anything for this turn. I think either way they should still probably promote the Gengar Mimikyu since it has the air balloon. Gives them the flexibility of retreating for free at any point. So if they change their mind, that would allow them to promote something different. Here's just going to go for the treasure. They only have 6 cards left in deck. I didn't even realize that. So they honestly might just be out of resources at this point, guys. I really don't see their win condition here. And the like Mewtwo Mew hand control deck, this is like one of the more hyped decks coming out of Sword and Shield. So Obstagoon, you know, putting in some work here, I have to say. And yeah, we just get the victory screen. So yeah, I think our opponent kind of is just out of resources to really deal with our Obstagoons at this point. All right, so let's go ahead and call the coin flip for this game, guys. And we do lose. Okay. Hopefully our opponent... Okay, they did choose to go first. Is good. I do like going second with this deck. And hello to, what, Willem Niels? I think that's how you pronounce that. I apologize if I did butcher that. Sorry. So let's see. We see a Jirachi. It doesn't tell us too much. But they have the Mewtwo Mew sleeve, so this could be like some sort of Mewtwo Mew deck. There's been a ton of like the Marnie hand control sort of variant. So they are going to get a reset stamp. Honestly, don't hate if they played that. Okay, just a pass. So not a strong turn at all from our opponent here. Now, the question is, how confident am I that they aren't going to be able to get off an attack next turn? So I think we're going to do this. So we could potentially go all in, say, hey, they're not going to attack us, and we can get down energy. Next turn, Candy Obstagoon energy, and then just kind of like be chilling. But I kind of almost want to go for Jirachi in a way, but you know what? I think we'll go for Jirachi either way here. Just in case we do get knocked out. But here we're just going to attach, pass back over to our opponent. They did nothing on their first turn. Now, of course, I would imagine they have a supporter in hand. Question is, do they have, like, what type of deck are they playing? Do they have the means of getting a turn one knockout? So if this is the hand control one, we're actually maybe in a decent spot, but so we're seeing our Stellar Wish from our opponent. And they do find a quick ball. So good for them. They will be able to get down a Pokemon play. Now, one thing that could be bad if this is the hand control deck, again, I'm assuming it is, if they go for the Whorehouse GX, that would be terrible. Ooh, here they have a Metal Energy. Okay, so it looks like this is going to be a Zacian deck. It's actually a deck I haven't seen much of on the ladder at this point. I think it's just because, like, packs are obnoxious to trade for at this point. But, yeah, this is definitely nice for us. And they're just going to end their turn with Intrepid Sword. And now we're actually going to be in a kind of decent spot. So we can go Candy Obstagoon. And our opponent's going to need like Fion plus Custom Catcher or something like that in order to knock this thing out. So we're just going to go for the Obstruct, get a prize. Hopefully we can get a supporter. That's one thing we aren't doing too hot on right now in this game. We do get Mimikyu. Really not too great, but it is a decent communication target if we choose to. So actually, if our opponent has a Fion, I'd be ecstatic about that. Like, if they Fion knockout Jirachi and we keep Obstagoon in play, we just don't bench anything else. Unless they have something that can go through effects, I think we just win if they go that route. So this hand's still pretty bad. I was really hoping that Marnie would do something for us there, but didn't really. But, you know, right now I feel pretty good. Zacian V, you know, of course, one of the big new cards from Sword and Shield. But really doesn't do too much here against the Obstagoon, as you guys can see. Here they do have ADP. That's fine. Okay, the question is, do they have anything that goes through effects of attacks? And just ending their turn with another Intrepid Sword. Sure, we'll just do this. Look it down. I guess damage counter here, that's fine. And we'll just go for the Obstruct. So luckily this attack on Obstagoon is like super busted. And it's gonna allow us to like kind of just like cling on for dear life while we try to hit a supporter. We've only played, yeah, we haven't even played one this entire game. So have to take a peek through our deck to see if we do have some supporter surprise that could be part of our issue here. So we're gonna see Mal and Lana. Are they gonna get rid of both cards in their hand? Okay, they are. What did they get rid of here? Nothing too important from what I can tell. So I imagine we'll probably just see them take a turn to use Intrepid Sword yet again. But, I mean, they're going to need something. Do they play Galarian Berserker or, like, some other evolution we don't know of? I mean, right now things are looking pretty bad for them. But Fion Custom Catcher or, like, Fion Pokemon Catcher plays are definitely something that could kind of fix the situation that they're in. So, Shorble is attached to Zigzagoon. That's fine. Yeah, we'll go for Catcher as well. Or not Catcher, Communication. Let's see. Ooh, our Linoons are actually prized. Did we discard one already? So we discard one, prize the other. Let's see, do we have... I mean, we prized one Marnie, but other than that, all of our energy is... or all of our supporters are in deck. So I think we'll just go for the Obstagoon. Just to, like, preemptively... have it. Now, one thing I do want to find is Lily's Pokédoll, because again, I don't know if they're playing Fion, but that is a popular inclusion I've seen in a lot of these lists. So we'll go for the Obstruct here, getting another prize at least, so maybe we can find that Marnie we prized. Okay, yeah, we did. So that's definitely good. Okay, so it looks like they're finally about to get off Altered Creation. Really nice we've had the luxury of like kind of being able to set up manually like this. They're definitely a couple turns behind in terms of getting Altered Creation set up. Okay, and they do play the Fion. That's actually very relevant. And they're going to play a Marnie of their own. I'm cool with that. We just really need to find... we really need to find a Pokédoll. That's the big thing I'm going to be on the hunt for. So I really don't want to bench anything we don't need here. Because if they're playing catcher effects, they will be able to just catcher up Pokemon on the bench and be able to win that way. So fingers crossed, we definitely need Lily's Pokédoll here. And we don't get it, unfortunately. But I think I'm actually cool just sitting on this hand. So as long as they don't have Fion plus a catcher combo, like ideally I just want to have just two Obstagoons in play because I don't think they're ever going to be able to get a double knockout. So if they just go for the Fion, yeah, we can sacrifice Jirachi. That's fine with me. Next turn we can Rosa, get out a second Obstagoon, and I think we're going to be good from there. I really don't see a way out that our opponent would have at that point. Because again, I don't think anything in their deck is going to be able to take a double knockout here. So we'll just go for the Rosa. Obstagoon. I guess we could get Great Catcher. I guess Pokédoll, like... Do we even bench Pokédoll? That's what I'm thinking. I actually don't think I even want to, but we'll grab it just in case, I guess. Or well... Grab a Rosa. In case they ever do knock something out, because I kind of just want to sit on this hand, guys. There's really not too much we need here. So I don't think it really matters where we put our damage counters. I guess we can just put them on the... Well, we're going to hit this for 90. If we put 3, that's what? 220. So we actually probably need to put that somewhere else. We'll put the 3 over here. And so now we just kind of play the waiting game. I mean, our opponent, no doubt, they play healing cards like Mallow and Lana. But I don't think they can deck us out. We have like double the amount of cards left in deck. If they're playing ADP, they're probably not playing Berserker or anything like that as well. So I think we kind of have them locked down, guys. Because again, even if they play the Fion, that's fine. They can get one more knockout, but after that, we just have one Obstagoon in the active, and they can never move that from the active. So, like to clear the effect on it. So they do have a Jirachi, okay. See what they're going to retreat into. I imagine we'll probably see him retreat into Jirachi if they don't have anything else to do this turn. So our opponent is definitely getting low on cards. I guess they're just checking for some sort of out that they might have. But like I said, guys, I feel like we have them pretty much locked unless they play something weird that we just don't know of. That's like kind of unusual for a list to play. I think we're basically good to go. So that's fine. We can just sit on this hand. And I'll just go for the obstruct. Okay. I feel like maybe they do have something in it. Like if they're still playing this game out from here. Okay, they're going to go for the stamp. That's fine. Like if they're still playing this game out, like I feel like they have to have something that we don't know of. Oh, and here they're just going to go for the Marnie. That's fine. This hand was bad. But there's really nothing we need unless they play some sort of like energy denial cards. So they're going to go for the Brave Blade. But again, after they knock this guy out, I really just don't think they have anything to like any sort of win condition now. So we'll just attach. That's fine. And we're just going to go for the obstruct. So it's going to be a long way to victory, only doing 90 damage at a time. But it is what it is. We'll eventually get there. I'm pretty sure we're going to get there, but... Oh, and here we just get the well played. So yeah, that they kind of see the writing on the wall. So Obstagoon going to shut out, you know, debatably the best new deck from Sword and Shield. So maybe our boy Galarian Obstagoon is somewhat of a contender for this format. Alrighty guys, so that's going to pretty much wrap up here our look at the Galarian Obstagoon deck. As you guys can see, it pretty much held its own against these big decks that we have in the format. You know, as you saw, it's a little bit slow getting going sometimes. Like, you definitely have a few turns where you're just kind of building up a couple of manual attachments, sacrificing things. But once you establish your Obstagoon, it's so hard for so many different decks to be able to deal with this thing. Unless they do have some sort of powerful stage 1 or stage 2 in their deck somewhere. But against a lot of these big basic decks that have been dominating the format, Obstagoon can be a pretty good attacker against these decks. We'll have to see ultimately how this deck is going to do once this is going to be illegal for tournament play. But I hope you guys did enjoy a look at the deck. If you guys did, of course, feel free to like and subscribe. And consider supporting this channel as well by becoming a patron over at patreon.com/rarecandytcg or by picking up some merch from our online store, rarecandytcg.com. It would mean a lot. But as always, thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.